Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Upman Joe, and today I'm going to bring for you a review and comparison of the Astro A50 Wireless headset to the Astro A40 with Mixamp Pro wired headset. Now, over the last few months, I've tried several different headsets trying to find what I like best with the Xbox One. And I've tried everything from my old XP510s from Turtle Beach to the new Stealth 500Xs, which are the only true wireless ones that have wireless chat on the Xbox One. I've tried the Astro A40s with the M80 Mixamp, which is designed just for the Xbox One. And I've also tried the Turtle Beach Elites. And now I've narrowed it down to the Astro A50 wireless headset and the A40 with Mixamp Pro wired headset. Today's video is going to kind of review both of them and compare them to help you make a more informed decision if you're in the same position I was of you don't know which one you want to use. So let's start off with the Astro A40s. Now, the Astro A40s come in several different colors, but if you're going to buy them in the store, you can generally find them in either black, gray, or white. Now, these are the gray Astro A40s, and there's, as far as the design and the feel of the headset, there's really no difference between the A40 and the A50. The A40 is slightly lighter because it doesn't have to deal with the wireless and the battery inside of it, but it's not super noticeable. But it does have the same adjustable on the side as far as comfort. It has the same nice, comfortable, soft ear cups, and it has the same type of boom microphone. Now, one of the differences between the Astro A40s and the A50s, and I'll show you on the A40s and then show you what I mean on the A50, is on the A40 you can actually remove your microphone, take off these speaker tags here, take off the speaker tag on the other side, and then put your microphone on this side if you want. So you can, if you want to have the microphone on this side, you can, or if you want, like I prefer it on my left side, simply take off your speaker tags, reverse them, and put your microphone back on. So that is one of the big differences between the two as far as the headset itself. The other difference is on the A40s, these speaker tags are removable, and you can pick up new ones with just about any kind of design you want from the Astro's website, and they even have a set where you can design your own so long as you're not using copyrighted pictures. Now let's talk about the Mixamp Pro. Okay, so this is the Mixamp Pro, which is what you need to use with the A40s. Okay, and this is basically what's going to control your chat and your game volume. You have a master volume here. You have a chat balancer here, basically where you turn it to one side and you can see you turned it to the game, and the other side gives you more of the voice chat. Then in here you have a button over here for Dolby Digital Surround Sound, and then this button over here, right here, this one is for 4 different preset equalizers. Now on the back is where all your cables go for your main thing. Over here is your optical cable, and they do use a specific type of optical cable with a standard jack that goes into your Xbox or your PlayStation, and then it's got a special, like, I don't even know what size it is, like a 3.5mm type size that goes in here. Okay, over here is a jack if you want to add an MP3 player. And this jack over here is for streaming. So if you want to be able to stream out the chat volume and the chat that you're talking on and be able to stream it out or record it, you hook in your wire to there. And then over here is a micro USB, which is what provides the power. Now on the other side, these two outer ones are for links. So if you're playing on a LAN situation and you need to be able to chat, you basically daisy chain everybody's Mixamp to each other. Then over here, this is your headphone jack. This is the wire that goes from your headphones to the Mixamp Pro so that you can get the sound in the headphones. And then this one over here is actually the chat wire. This is the wire that goes from the bottom of your controller to your Mixamp so that you can have the chat volume in here. Now, if you don't want to use chat and just are you looking for sound, you don't have to hook that wire up. One of the things that really was making me back and forth of whether or not I wanted the A40s is because if you're using the A40s, as I said, they're wired, and you have to have this long wire that comes from the bottom of the headphones, and it comes down and it plugs into the bottom of your Mixamp. Now on here is a mute switch, so if you're talking, you just use this little switch here to mute your game chat if you want to mute your microphone or something like that. At first, I didn't think I was really going to like this cable, but I really have gotten used to it and it doesn't bother me as much. If you are playing on a larger television, you have to take into consideration whether or not you want to have this long cable here stretched across the entire room. Now, as far as hooking this up to your console, it's very simple, but it is going to depend on what console you're using. If you're using this on a PS3 or a PS4, all you do is take your USB cable from the console and you plug it into the micro USB cable on the back of the Mixamp Pro, and you're done. Now, if you're using this on an Xbox One or an Xbox 360, you're actually going to have one more step if you're going to use the chat, and that is you have to take a cable and take it and goes from your Xbox 360 or Xbox One controller into the bottom of the Mixamp Pro here. So now you have this cable hanging off here, and then you have a cable going onto the bottom of your controller. Now, if you're playing on an Xbox One, you're going to notice that if you go to the store to buy this, that the box actually does not say Xbox One on it. It says for the Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Mac, and PC. And that's because in order to use this on an Xbox One, you're going to have to go buy one of these adapters. And it's called the Microsoft Stereo Headset Adapter. They're about $25 in the store. Sometimes you can find them on sale. And this adapter actually plugs right into the bottom of your controller. So once you put it in, you're going to have this on the bottom of your controller. Then you're going to simply take the cable that comes from your Mixamp Pro and plug it into the bottom. So now I have this cable that comes off of my controller, and I have this cable that's coming off of my headset. Now on this Xbox Microsoft Stereo Adapter, you're going to take these buttons over here, which is the game sound itself, and you want to press this button and have it go all the way down. You want to press it until it beeps, because otherwise the game sound is going to feed into your controller, and you don't want that. You want your game sound to come through your Mixamp Pro, which is fed through your optical audio. Then over here, these buttons are going to control your chat volume. But remember, your Mixamp Pro also controls chat volume, so you want to press this and bring it all the way up. Chat volume up, game volume all the way down, and now you can control everything through your Mixamp Pro, because basically what this is, this does the same thing that the Mixamp Pro does. Now the mute button will still work, so if you want to mute, instead of using this switch over here, you can use this button right here. Now let's talk about the A50s. Now these are the A50s, and these are the white version, and I believe they're only available at Best Buy in this color. They also come in black, and I believe there's a Halo version for the Xbox One. But as you can see, when you look at the two, there's really no difference in the design between the A40 and the A50. It's got the same soft inner ear cup. Both of them turn like this. They both have the same adjustments and the same foam up on the top. The differences become, first of all, the microphone is on the left and it cannot be reversed to the right. It has to be on the left. Also, the ear plates are not removable on the A50s. And that's because, again, this has all of your wireless technology in it, and it also has the battery in it. And I did find you get about 10 hours of battery life in between charges. But for myself, I'm an avid gamer, and I will have long gaming sessions, and sometimes I may forget to plug it in, and I found several times where the battery went dead. It started going beeping, and I had to now get out a USB cable and run it and play with the cable hooked in. And so you can play if the battery goes dead, but now you're back to having a wired headset. As far as hooking them up, it's very simple. The A50s come with the headset, they come with this little wireless mix amp, and they also come with a stand so that you can hang your headset on when you're done. And you just simply put it on here. This sits on your desk, and then you can plug your cable in to charge it, which I'll show you. Now, on the back of the mix amp, it's very simple. You have over here an auxiliary jack if you want to have some auxiliary audio. You have a power jack, which is a micro USB that plugs into the back of your computer or your Xbox One. You have an optical out. You have optical in to provide the sound, and then you have a USB. Now this USB actually connects to a smaller micro USB cable, which is what's going to charge your headset. When you're done playing at the end of the day, you simply take a micro USB cable and you're going to plug it into the bottom of your headphones right over here. And then the other half is what's plugged into the back of the mix amp. Now, if you're going to play without having any kind of chat, that's all you have to do. You just take your headset, you power them on, you put them on, and you're good to go. You don't have any wires to deal with as far as sound. Now, if you do want to have chat, you have to go back to the same thing where you have to have a chat cable. Only this time, we're going to take a cable that's provided. If you buy the Xbox One version of the A50s, it comes with this adapter. So you don't have to go buy the Microsoft Stereo headset adapter. You're simply going to take this, if I take my controller here, and you're going to plug it right into the bottom of your controller. The other half goes into the bottom of my headphones right here. So now the only wire I'm going to deal with if I'm playing and I'm chatting in a party is this wire that goes from my controller to here, but I don't have to have anything going from here to the Mixamp. Now, as far as your volume, there's a volume switch under here on the ear cup, which can be quite annoying if you want to change your volume. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find. You gotta kind of feel around for it. Now, as far as your Mixamp and adjusting the volume of the game and the volume of the chat, it's over here on the ear cup. And you can see here, one side says game and one side says voice. The yellow is voice and the gray is game. And if I press it like this, it'll increase the game volume. If I press it like this, it'll increase the voice volume. It's kind of hard sometimes, and this is one of the things I didn't like about the A50s, to find the right setting. In order to find the right setting, you kind of gotta keep pressing it until it beeps. When you hear the one beep, you're in the middle, and if you keep pressing it the rest of the way, you'll get to the one extreme of either game volume or voice volume, whichever one you want. But it's not a simple visual thing where you can kind of look down like on the Mixamp Pro for the A40s and see, you know, what setting am I at. You kind of got to, by feel and by listening to it, press back and forth. Now, also, there is a power button on here, so whenever you take these off, you have to remember to press the power button, and it is kind of hard to get to sometimes. Your equalizer is right here, and you can see in here, if I can get it to show up on the camera, there's 3 switches, 1, 2, and 3, and those are your preset equalizers. If you want to mute your microphone, all you do is simply move this up and down. When it's down here, it's not muted. When you put it all the way up, you'll feel it like click in place, it's muted. So that's a very nice feature. Now, as far as sound quality, they're pretty much identical. They're both 7.1 Dolby Digital Surround Sound, but the A40s do have one extra equalizer preset. As far as the rest, they're very identical. I would say the A40s are slightly louder than the A50s, but nothing that can't be adjusted with volume. When I use the A50s, I would keep the volume somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of the max volume, and on the A40s, I have it right around the 1/2. But it's not to the point where you can't hear anything, and on neither one of them did I turn all the way up. As far as the microphone, it's pretty much the same quality. So all in all, both headphones are excellent, both the A40s and the A50s, and it's really going to come down to preference. Do you mind having a wire coming off of you on the A40s if you're not using chat? Do you mind having a wire that goes from your headphone to the Mixamp and then another one that goes from your controller to the Mixamp? That's something that you're going to have to consider. If you're sitting up close on the computer or on your video game, it's probably not a huge deal. If you're sitting across the room, it's going to be a huge deal because you're going to have this one wire stretched all the way across the room and then another one that goes from your headset, from your handset controller to your Mixamp. So that is definitely something to think about. If you're just strictly playing without having to do any kind of chat and you don't care about chat, the A50s are excellent if you want total wireless. Now, I used the A50s for about 2 months, and I really did enjoy them. They were a great headphone, but for me, I just didn't want to have to worry about charging the battery anymore. And I personally don't know what the overall battery life is on the A50s, you know, how many charges it can get. So that is definitely something to consider. But you're not going to go wrong with either headset. Whether you buy the A40 or you buy the A50, they're both excellent headsets. Now, the A40s retail for, I believe, $249. You can find them on sale at Best Buy several times a year for about $199. The A50s retail for $299, and I've seen them on sale for $249. Do keep in mind, if you are going to buy the A40s, you will have to go ahead and get that Microsoft stereo headset adapter, which you don't have to buy if you buy the A50s for the Xbox One. Now, before I end this video, I just want to say one other thing. If you are playing on the Xbox One and are considering the A40 or the A50, stay away from the A40 with the M80 Mixamp Pro. I've tried them, and I personally think that they're horrible. They're not 7.1 Dolby Digital Surround Sound. They're the same headphones as the A40 and A50, but they don't have nearly the same sound. All of the sound is provided through your controller, and it's not very loud. I had to turn them all the way up, and I could barely hear the game. The other thing is that adapter that plugs into the bottom of your controller for the M80 Mixamp does not fit if you're using a SCUF controller. With that said, I did want to say, if you are purchasing the A50s for the Xbox One, where you have to have this adapter and you have a SCUF controller with 4 paddles, you'll have to shave off just a piece of this plastic on each side to get it to fit. If you're playing with 2 paddles, it's no issue at all. Or if you're like me and you're playing with a cinch, it just plugs right in. So that's my video for today, guys. Hopefully I helped you make a more informed decision. Like I said, I purchased several headphones for the Xbox One. I think I went through like 6 or 7 different headphones before I made my final decision. And, you know, these are the 2 that I found were the best. They had the best quality, the best comfort, the best feel. There are other ones on the market, but in the end, I felt these were the best 2 to work with the Xbox One. So hopefully I've helped you make a little bit more informed decision to decide which one you prefer, whether you want the A40 or the A50. Please do me a favor, hit the like button down on the bottom if you liked the video. It really helps me out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and until next time, happy gaming.